And we have our first competitor on the line. So we have Mike Walker with Four Paws Katie Shack. So they're under starters orders. And they're off. A nice pull through there as they go over number 5. And into the weave. A tight turn onto the A-frame, just to get the contact, and he does. Bit of a flying contact there on the seesaw, so it does pick up 5 faults. But does manage to get the contact on the dog walk, but unfortunately takes the wrong course and is eliminated. So our second dog to run. Second handler is Elaine Browley with Tale of Two Tribes. So it looks like they're under starters orders. And they're off over the Skinner's jump. Oh, but doesn't want to do it twice, so does unfortunately pick up an elimination. But the dog never knows it's done wrong, so it will keep going. So it does miss out a couple of weaves, but they're having fun. So they will keep going. So this one goes into the right end of the tunnel. And just the final stretch to go, one more. So an unfortunate elimination, but they all had a great time. Next handler to go is Cass Creaser with Chock Start Easter Bonnet. So they're under starters orders. So round Skinner's jump. And just managing to call off the seesaw, so that's well done. A very twisty part of the course, but all safely navigated so far as they go over the A-frame. Yep, the dog gets the contact on the A-frame. Rattled the pole at number 10, but it stays on. Ooh, and just going into the correct end of the tunnel there. And again, just managing to get into the correct end of the other tunnel. So one more to go. Well done. So that's a clear in 41.056. So that is the time to beat. Next competitor. Next competitor, Karen Young with Rock Sonata. So they're nicely over number 5, and then into the weaves. Yeah, it gets through all 12 nicely, and also gets the contact on the A-frame. And it must go in the other end of the tunnel, which it does. And again, must go in the far end of the tunnel. So we've just got 3 to go. Oh, it does clip 1, so it is 5 faults, but a great time of 40.220. So the judge is just checking that everything is in order, and he is ready to go. So our next handler is Robin Wilkinson with Indy Red. And they're off over the Skinner's jump, and then round over 4. So they're through the twisty part of the course and into the weaves. Ooh, does pick up a refusal for going around the going to the wrong end of the jump. I must go in the far end of the tunnel again. So we've got 4 obstacles to go. Over the Kennel Club jump, now the long jump, and 1 more. So, well done. That's 5 faults for the refusal in 44.103.
Tracy Morale.
Our next handler, Tracy Morell with IT Harvest Harlequin. So, they are under starters orders. Tracy just making sure the weight's enforced, and they're off. So, nicely handled around the twisty part of the course. And does get the contact on the A-frame. So up and over the seesaw. Must wait until it lands, which it does. And gets a nice running contact on the dog walk as well. So we're on the home straight. 2 obstacles to go. 1 more. Well done. A lovely clear going into the lead in 39.983. So, a hard act to follow. We have next Sue Mosdale with Skinny When Wet. And they're off over the Skinner's jump. And then round to number 4. So, nicely through the twisty part of the course and through the weaves as well. Does rattle number 9 and unfortunately takes number 10. So that is 5 faults. But you never know, 5 faults might be good enough. So into the tunnel, we've got 4 obstacles to go. Over the Kennel Club jump. Last one. So it's a great time, but does pick up the 5 faults. So 5 faults in 37.921. So we have repaired the course, and our next handler to run is Kirsty Campbell with Jastoon Napos. So, the dog is going to let us know where it is all the way around, I think. And they're off. So around the back of number 4 and over number 5. Nicely through the weaves and onto the A-frame. Oh, does pick up 5 for the A-frame and a refusal going past number 10. So they're on 10 faults, but keep going. So flies over the dog walk, but does get the contact. And we are into the home straight over the Kennel Club jump. 1 more to go. Well done. So it is 10 faults in 41.980. Next handler is Sue Cooper. And she's running Blackthorn's Coconut. Oh no, the dog has just run past number 5, so it has picked up a refusal. But we're back on course now as they go into the weaves. So the dog does get the seesaw contact and the far end of the tunnel. Oh, nicely called off that tunnel. As they go into the final 3, does take a pole and the last one. So it is 10 faults in a time of 38.788. Yeah. So a quick time, but an unfortunate refusal and a pole there means they did pick up 10 faults. So, our next dog on the line, or next handler on the line, is Fiona Gavin, and she is running Corrie's Commander Spock. So they're under starter's orders, and they are off. Over the Skinner's jump. And round onto 4. Oh, it does unfortunately clip 5, so they're on 5 faults now. Dog getting a little bit caught up in the weaves. But deciding to withdraw, so that is an elimination. So we do need to just pick up the 5th pole before we start our next competitor. So on the line we have Alan Dorman with Harset Flax. So they're under starter's orders and they're off. Nicely over the Skinner's jump. And round over number 6, so they have completed the twisty part of the course, and into the weaves. Oh, just creeping down the A-frame, but gets the contact nicely. So must go in the far end of the tunnel, and they do. So onto the dog walk. Yep, the dog gets the contact on that one too. And we're coming up to the home straight, over the Kennel Club jump. One more to go. Well done. So a clear round in 43.974. So, our next competitor, Nigel Stains, with Morgan's Black Panther. So, they're under starter's orders. And Nigel's going for a running start. So, nicely over the first 6 obstacles as they go into the weaves. Just about gets the down contact on the A-frame as they move on to the seesaw and into the far end of the tunnel. Handler just making sure that the dog goes into the correct end of the tunnel but misses out on one of the jumps, so does get eliminated. Unlucky there. It's looking like such a cracking course. Next, we have Michelle Thurl with Jubranique at Atukan. So handler putting in a nice turn there just to make sure the dog goes the correct way. And they are through the twisty part of the course. Oh, does run past number 10, so will pick up a refusal there. So they're on 5 faults. Gets the contact on the dog walk nicely. So we've got 4 obstacles to go. Kennel Club jump, 2 more, and the last one. Well done. So it is 5 faults in a time of 46.327. Next on the line, we should have Rowena Lawrence with Pidefa Elderberry. So, a little bit of a tough landing over the Skinner's jump, but does recover nicely as they go into the weaves. Does miss out one of the weaves, so they'll go back. Must complete all of the obstacle before they can move on. And they do in the second time of asking. So they're on 5 faults. But if they keep it that way, there's a good chance they might be in with a shout. Oh, but not if they go in the wrong side of the tunnel. Unlucky. So that is an elimination for taking the wrong course. But the dog never knows it's done any wrong. And it seems to love tunnels whichever way it goes in them. So great to see they're having a good time. Just finished off over the last 3 obstacles. And 1 more to go. An unlucky elimination. Dog clearly loving the tunnel. So we should have our next competitor, Yvonne Jack, with Stagsbury Jodami. So they are under starters orders, and it looks like they're ready to go. So they're over the Skinner's jump. And just called off the seesaw to go over number 4. And into the weaves. So all 12 weaves successfully done. Now just taking a little bit of a wide turn to make sure the dog goes into the correct entrance to the tunnel. Oh, but not that time. Another dog that loves a tunnel when it sees one. Very difficult to call your dogs off the tunnel once they get their eyes on it. So an unlucky elimination there.